Hello everyone, this is your host Vaibhav. I welcome all of you to today's session of Daily Talk, in which we are going to take a look on the financial pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly's financial earnings for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2023. We saw that the Eli Lilly has done phenomenally well in terms of the successful launch and continued expansion of its portfolio. In the last quarter, the revenues have shown quite a solid growth on back of successful launch of the drugs and also the old drugs which have been in the market for a while have also been doing quite well. So the Eli Lilly overall is performing quite well financially as well as on the stock market side where its shares have rallied and almost doubled in last 1 year. So we are going to look into the opportunities which are being created in the process. You will see if there are emerging opportunities to trade and invest in the shares of the Eli Lilly in coming days, coming months, or if you are a long-term investor, you can even be willing to wait and go for a opportunity which is likely to present itself in longer term but with a excellent risk reward ratio. As the company has been around for 150 years, we can indeed take a long term and a very long term view of the company's prospects because this is a defensive bet in the sense that the pharmaceutical companies tend to be quite sticky with their market, and in this case we have the strong pipeline of the company's medicines, and we look at the recent developments. These have been successful trials also, and if we consider the financial metrics on that count as well, the revenue growth has been solid along with the growth in the net profit. The operating margin has also been good. There have been some hiccups in the process, but those are one-time charges, and I'm quite hopeful that this performance is likely to continue for a while. At least if we take the view for next couple of quarters, the positive trajectory on the bullish side is likely to continue. So we can be willing to go for the trades in which risk reward ratio is on our side and the momentum is also on our side. So the buy on dips turns out to be a good strategy to work with. All we have to do is look for the favorable entry points in which, if we happen to be wrong, we shouldn't be losing too much money. Now let us go to the fine print of these earnings highlight. The revenues have grown 28% for the fourth quarter of 2023, with new products contributing to the revenue growth of US dollar 2.19 billion, and these were primarily led by two drugs, the Monjaro and Zipbound. These have been the two products which have contributed phenomenally well for the company's top line. There has been FDA approval for the Zipbound, which is used to treat the obesity. It has also completed the acquisition of Point Biopharma Global Inc. and Mablink Biosciences SAS. This is going to expand the company's reach in terms of the new products, and also it will help in the revenue growth. Now we turn to the profit and loss statement for the last quarter. This is a publicly available document if you want to go through all the fine print of the financial earnings. You can simply go to the investor relation page of the LILA and access it. Because of the shortage of time, I won't be able to cover the full document. We will be looking at the key highlights of the fourth quarter's earnings report. For the quarter ended December 31st, the revenues have grown 28%. The operating margin is quite good if we consider the overall scenario. The revenue growth is resulting in the operating income growth of 30%, and after deducting the taxes and interest we have the net income growth of 13%. If we consider the annual earnings, there has been a charge of around US dollar 3.8 billion, which has reduced its bottom line. And since this is not going to be the case in coming years, coming quarters, as these are costs related to the acquisition of the IP rights, we will see that for the fiscal year 2024, the revenue growth will also be accompanied by the net profit growth, which was not really the case for the whole year of 2023, in which the annual net profit has actually dropped even though the revenues have grown. But for the financial year 2024, the revenues as well as the net profit is expected to grow. The company has provided the forward guidance with the annual revenue to be in the ballpark of $40 billion. That's almost close to 20 percentage point growth in the revenues. And if we consider the net income with its current operating margin, I am quite hopeful that net income is likely to more than double for the company for fiscal year 2024 compared to what the company made, that is US dollar 5.2 billion in the financial year 2023. And that is what the market is also anticipating. And we have seen strong rally in the share price of the Eli Lilly, which is not really showing any signs of slowing down just yet. If we consider this reaction of the share price to the release of financial earnings, you will see that there was gap of opening followed by correction to the prior day's closing level, and again in today's session we are seeing this back to the top approach of the Eli Lilly's shares. Even though there has been phenomenal run, I still feel that there is still some juice left to run on the higher side, but going for a new trade at the current levels at the current juncture doesn't really look like a sound choice. All we have to do is wait it out for due consolidation, because even if the momentum is strong, we can't really be too sure that the stock will not go sideways. So we also have to anticipate that possibility, and for that we will have to adopt a cautious stance here. After this strong rally, there is not much of a question on the direction, on the trajectory of the share price, but we still have to consider the possibility of it consolidating for extended time, and to make sure that even in that eventuality we remain on the profitable side, we will have to go with the cautious approach and wait it out for a while before we can think about jumping in for the newer trading and investment opportunity. So, if you are a short term trader or investor, it will be a good thing to wait at least a week before we can make our mind for going for the buy on dips approach. So the price range to watch out for next week is going to be close to 700. It should consolidate close to or above 700 and hold to the recent gains, and in that eventuality the signs will only get stronger that the momentum is continuing, and we can be willing to invest and trade with the expectation of further growth towards the price levels of 800 and beyond. For medium term, the formation is similar. Here, the opportunity was there in the last month. Right now, after this strong rally of around 10 percentage point, I think it will be better for us to adopt a cautious stance and wait it out for the consolidation of a couple of weeks at the minimum. And if it holds the ground and doesn't really decline towards this prior swing high, which is now likely to act as the near-term support, we can be fairly confident of the continuation of this upward momentum in the Eli Lilly stock. And weekly also the similar formation is there. The confirmation for the bullishness of the stock is all around. All we need is some correction and consolidation before we can go in for a newer trade. Apart from that, there is not much which is holding us back. Only thing which we need to be mindful of the possibility of extended consolidation, and that is the only thing which is contributing to this cautious stance. Otherwise, things are quite strongly inclined towards the bullish side for the Eli Lilly, and it is expected to continue to rally at least for the next couple of weeks, if not for a couple of months. And for us to decide on the long term opportunities, we will have to wait and allow it to correct and then consolidate for a couple of months at the minimum before we can think about getting involved for a newer investment opportunity. So that's my take looking at the current price formation of the Eli Lilly stock. Prior to this, we also saw the financial metrics of the company in which it is passing with flying colors. There is a strong demand for its product, and along with that, it is also expanding its product portfolio by acquisition and R&D. So all in all, the catalysts for further growth are there, and we will do well to keep an eye on the stock price performance of the Eli Lilly over coming months, and see what can what type of opportunities which can range from short term, medium term to longer term can be exploited for further gains coming into the 2024. Now, that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback, and I'll be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in.